Hello, YouTubers, friends, compatriots, bootlickers, shills, deaths, search, peasants, vassals, minions, meat sacks, trans. I'm Useful Idiot. Welcome. In tandem with this last video I just did about the House passing a bill banning trans people from participating in women's sports, the fact that 206 Democratic congressmen actually voted against this, and they're still ignoring the tide that is washing across America right now and the instigation of the Trump era. And one of the things we're seeing is that quite a few months back, the New York Times did a big article on the fact that woke is dead. And I think that's true, and well, it should be, because the basic noble seed that is in the idea of inclusivity and diversity and respect for gender identities, it lost all sense of logic and acknowledgement of biology. And I'm sorry, you have to acknowledge biology and logic and pushing these ideas. And the social engineering idea has collapsed. And not only that, it's one of those ideas that transcends party loyalty, because most people kind of get it. I know a lot of liberals, and they're not for transitioning men participating in women's sports. They even recognize it as a really stupid idea and completely dishonors women. So in the name of trying to have some kind of inclusivity for trans, they completely just disrespect the rights of genders as we know them, particularly with women. But this idea of woke is over, and along with that, we're seeing a huge transition across America in all sectors. We've seen all these advertising campaigns for Bud Light and John Deere, et cetera, Harley Davidson, these woke commercials, and this trying to appeal to a very small demographic has completely backfired on them. They've all had to backtrack on it, and it hurt their business. And it was a dumb idea, and the fact that anybody thought it was a good idea and thought it was logical shows that we really have a level of mediocrity in high places that's really unprecedented. But we're also seeing colleges cancel their gender studies programs. Every corporation is now backtracking. The latest one is Zuckerberg and Facebook. They're going to dismantle their DEI programs, and they're rolling that back. And we're seeing a lot of the corporations now that are rolling back their DEI programs and ESG, which is this whole rating system and reward system within corporations for diversity. And of course, the fires down in Los Angeles also show problems with these DEI hires. We have 3 lesbians that were clearly DEI hires, who were paid huge sums of money, and they couldn't even really perform the basic functions of their job, and making sure that these fires were a lot more manageable. And the lurid details and scandals that are coming out about these leaders of the fire department, et cetera, down in Los Angeles are showing these hazards. And we also see one story after another of DEI hires that are involved in embezzlement and just general grifting. And so, and then we're seeing DEI hires where people are obviously out of their depth, including the mayors of Chicago and New York. And of course, Kamala Harris being one of the ultimate DEI hires, and she was a complete disaster. And the Biden administration, or Joe Biden, I should say, at the time, um, made it clear that he was bringing Kamala Harris on board as a diversity hire, and she was a complete disaster. And she's the poster child of this whole DEI culture and its failures. And so I think it's safe to say that woke is dead, that DEI is dead, and unfortunately, a lot of people are having to pay really high prices for these failures and this misguided faux nobility, including the fires down in LA. So anyway, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of companies that are still going to forge ahead. Apparently Disney, even with all their disasters, are going to continue their woke programming, and we still see a lot of woke programming out there in Netflix, etc. But they're paying a price too, and sooner or later they're going to have to wake up that people don't really want this, and it's a social engineering disaster of epic proportions. So anyway, woke is dead. Everybody go back to sleep. I'm a useful idiot. Don't you be one too?